Okay.
Hello everybody, I'm Margarida. On my right side it's Filipa and Mafalda.
Hello.
We are lawyers and working with the Golden Visa and real estate investments. We are here to talk you a little bit about some concerns and issues that you may have, and we hope to answer you some questions, okay? So let's start about some steps of the Golden Visa, okay? First of all, you need to decide that you want to invest in Portugal, okay? And after that, and thinking about the investment of on real estate, you need to get a tax number, okay? We send all the necessary documents for you to read carefully and sign and talk to us about that. After that, we can take the tax number for you, and the bank account, it's really important too, okay? After you have a tax number and bank account, you are ready to buy a property, okay? You can choose 1, 2, 3 properties. You don't need just to buy one. You can buy more than one, okay? And after that, you must, and at the meanwhile, you must thinking about the documents that you will be need for your application, okay? As criminal records, birth certificates, if you have kids and want your kids to have the card too, okay? As family reunion, so such as marriage certificate and other documents that we can talk about that later too, okay? And after that, and you buy the properties, do the investment, get the necessary documents. Of course that the lawyers help you with the properties and the every contract and everything that it's needed. And after that, we do the application form at the website of our strangers and our foreign and border services. We need to wait for the border services to check if everything is okay. After that, we can appoint and schedule a date so you to take fingerprints and photos and signatures. So at this time, you need to come to Portugal to do this step. And after that, let's hope that in a few time you get the cards and you can have your Golden Visa card for the period of 1 year, okay? The first card has 1 year valid, the second card 2 year valid, and the last one 2 year valid too, okay?
So I understand that you may have some concerns about a special power of attorney. So let's first get acquainted with the term POA. We personally use it a lot, and it stands for power of attorney. We understand that you may have concerns with the specific power of attorney, as I was mentioning, because it regards the bank. So you must understand that you're going to invest in a country that is not your own. So you will not be, most of the time, present to complete the signature of the acquisition of property. You will be in China, Hong Kong, elsewhere. So we, as your lawyers, need to represent you, and because we are representing you and acting in your name, we must also pay tax, pay the final deed, the property investment, etc. We have to pay it for you. It is very complicated to have it done otherwise. We understand that you may be careful with someone acting as yourself in your bank account because it is your money. But we never ever pay anything and do anything without emailing the client and having a written response from you. Never. It is a safety for you, of course, but it's a safety for us as well. You may know us and you may even trust us, but of course you will not know us for a long time. We will not be acquainted for a lot of years for you to have a specific trust, but we want you to be sure that being an attorney at your account, at your bank account, is also very uncomfortable for us. And that is why we make sure that we ask your written agreement and your written permission. And even through several platforms, email, WhatsApp, we are always in touch and granting that you are in agreement with the things we do with your bank account. And now that we are on the bank account subject, you may come to Portugal to open the bank account, but we have experienced and good experience with open the bank account in Macau as well. So we work with a partner in the bank here in Portugal that has a very good channel. It saves time for you. We prepare the documents here. You just need to go to Macau to sign. It saves your time, it saves our time, and it's less expensive for you as well, travel-wise and all. So if you're willing to visit Portugal, yes, of course, we will welcome you and we will help you open the bank account. But if you want to travel to Portugal a little later, please know that Macau is a very good place and the bank account is Portugal bank account as well.
Let's see another question and another issue that is very important. If you are willing to come to Portugal with your family, okay, so with the main investor and also the whole family, like husband, wife, kids, you need to prepare for the time that you want them to come with you, okay? So the main investor can come and can do the application by himself, like without the rest of the family, or you can choose to do everything at the same time. There are advantages on bringing all family together, because you just need to do one trip, okay? You come once to Portugal with all family and you submit all the cases, the main investor and the family reunion at the same time, and it can be more comfortable for you, okay? But at the same time can waste a little bit more time, okay? Because SEF, Border and Foreign Services, can take more time to analyze the cases. So between the date that you do the application and the time that SEF says that you can do the appointment and come to Portugal for the fingerprint photos and so on, it can take a little bit more, but it's more comfortable because you can do it everything at the same time. It's only one trip and the family is taking all the documents together. But it's a choice that you need to make, because everything is possible. The main investor comes alone, or the main investor comes with all family and everything is doing together, okay? It's by you and by your choice.
So, in terms of one specific requirement to apply for the Golden Visa, especially the first time, is health insurance. Health insurance is mandatory to apply for the Golden Visa and to be presented by the time we go in person to the Foreign Borders Office. Why? Because in Portugal, foreigners require health protection to have residency. However, one specific detail about this is that it is only mandatory if the applicant and family will be living in Portugal. That means if you will not be living in Portugal, or if your decision is not to stay in Portugal for more than 180 days, you would not need to have health insurance. Health insurance needs, if you're going to live in Portugal, to have international coverage. It's a specific requirement the Foreign Borders Office requires, so we as your lawyers will check several options of insurance for you, not only one company or two companies, whatever you require, if you require several options, and we will check as per request if the insurance has international coverage. Aside from that, taking the insurance is really simple. You can do it and your family can do it when you come to Portugal, especially if you come with a little bit time in advance according to your appointment date, because it can be done up to 15 days prior or at the time of the place you go in an insurance company. So it's not a problem, it does not take a lot of hours, and it's inexpensive in terms of Portuguese salary and Portuguese considerations. Another question that is often asked is the difference between permanent residency and citizenship. So, first of all, being a permanent resident means you are still a foreigner in Portugal, a foreign citizen. You do not lose your citizenship, Chinese citizenship, Brazilian, American, whatever. You do not lose it. You will be a permanent resident in Portugal because you will be applying for a special resident card. Means that you have been in Portugal legally for at least 5 years, and now you want to have a prolonged resident title for 5 years. You have been in Portugal for a long time, you know Portuguese because you have to present A2 certificate. A side note, we can help you with A2 certificates, so it's not a problem to worry about now. You go to CEF, schedule an appointment to apply for the permanent residency, and they grant you the permanent residency, and the card is valid for 5 years. But you will not lose your residency as Chinese nationality, the difference between permanent residency and citizenship or passport is that you will be applying for Portuguese nationality. When you say, I want Portuguese passport, it means I want to be Portuguese, so it means you will apply for citizenship or nationality. To apply for citizenship or nationality, it will imply that you have to be legal in Portugal for at least 5 years. Another side note, right now we have 5 years, period of time you need to be legal. Sometimes the law changes, 6 years, 5 years. We can keep you informed about that if it's in your interest to become Portuguese or have your family become Portuguese. But that is the main difference. When you apply for permanent residency, you go to CEF and you have a card for 5 years. When you apply for citizenship, you do not go to CEF. You go to another place. We call it in Portuguese IRN, the General Notary and Registry Institute of Portugal, to apply for your citizenship. Special cases in terms of Chinese nationality, Hong Kong and Macau do not lose the citizenship, but Chinese lose the citizenship. So if you are Chinese, you will lose Chinese nationality if you apply for Portuguese nationality or Portuguese passport, as you say. Another thing we want to talk about to end this topic is in terms of permanent residency, in the grounds that it is related to the Golden Visa. What we experience right now in terms of Foreign Border Service is 2 types of permanent residency. When you are a Golden Visa, you have the first card for 1 year, and then the other cards 2 years valid. After the 3rd card, you can apply for permanent residency, being a Golden Visa. You have, on this stage of your life, to have 2 options and to choose one. The first one is you want to keep the Golden Visa status, which means you will be a permanent resident with golden visa status, you can leave the territory. You are not bound to stay in Portugal for more than 180 days. Because remember, when you are a permanent resident, you live in Portugal. So you live in Portugal more than 180 days. If you reach the stage in your life where you are a golden visa and want to become a permanent resident, you can choose to keep the golden visa status, and that allows you to not need to be in Portugal for 180 days. However, if you live in Portugal and want to be a normal permanent resident, you will have to stay in Portugal for 180 days and continue your life as it is, losing the golden visa status. That is it. So, last but not least, we have decided to approach this issue that has been going on for a few days online and in Portugal, and I know in some of your countries, is about changes in the golden visa law in Portugal. So, first of all, saying that there are no changes at the moment. The law is still the same. This buzz came along because we are now facing a period of approval of our state budget. State budget 2020 had permission, the government asked the Assembly permission to legislate or change our Aliens Act in terms of one, ending the real estate investment golden visa-wise in Lisbon and Porto, and two, increment or develop the golden visa investment in other areas of Portugal, such as our islands, Madeira and Açores. This is just and the government asking the Assembly permission to legislate, and even if our state budget is approved, there is no change yet. It's just the government asking for permission. The government itself came along saying that the 2020 will not have any changes in the law. So if any changes will occur, we don't know if it will only be in the next year probably. So investment in Portugal, investment in Lisbon and Porto is, for the time being, and as far as any lawyer will know, safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.